Port Charlotte. So I'm sure that the protocol is really going to be changed this year. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to deliver that program. But it's impacted us in the ways that it impacts every other business or nonprofit out there where we've had to cancel events, which we are basically event driven for all of our fundraising. So we've had casino nights and all different events, comedy nights with McCurdy's, all of that stuff has had to been canceled, which means that we don't have the income that we're normally used to having come in. So it's impacted us in a big way, and luckily we are an all-volunteer nonprofit, and we are a home-based organization where I don't have employees that I have to worry about or furlough or other expenses that I'm going to have to meet. So in some ways, our situation is better than some of the bigger charities.
Okay. So you did mention that a lot of your big events had gotten canceled because of COVID-19, but what types of fundraising are you doing now, if anything, or have you done in the past that actually have raised money for your or for your nonprofit?
So what happens, obviously, we sent out a newsletter to everybody in the organization, and I feel very strongly about this. This is a very critical time for people losing jobs, losing homes. It's just unprecedented in our history. And I don't feel that I could actively go out there and ask people to give money. So what some of the people have done for us is they've actually done Facebook fundraisers. For instance, since we are not able to do our wish trips now because of the current situation, we turned our focus to helping the people and heroes on the front lines. So when New Jersey got hit really hard and New York got hit very hard, a lot of our people up in New Jersey were connected to, are working on the front lines in the hospitals. So we delivered in March and April and May, May, we delivered over 400 sandwiches to frontline workers in the hospitals, the EMS, the fire departments. So they were overwhelmed. So we had an organization that we partnered with up there, and they delivered the sandwiches for us, and we paid for them. And so some of the nurses got together, and they ran some Facebook fundraisers to raise more money for us to continue going. So I think we spent over $3,000 delivering sandwiches. So what we're doing now in Florida, since the tables are turned, is we are about to start next week the same thing. We're going to start delivering sandwiches to the frontline workers in the ICU units and the ER department. And we will probably have to do a couple of Facebook fundraisers or utilize whatever budget we can to do this for the people that are out there in the thick of it.
Okay. Well, Lisa, if you could do me a favor, if you can move your mic a little bit closer to you, there's some parts are kind of, we're losing you a little bit for there, but can you tell our listeners how we can support your organization in any type of way? Because obviously you mentioned a lot of ways that you're trying to do fundraising and events and whatnot, but how can, either in New Jersey, Florida, anyone that can help support you?
So obviously we take donations from anywhere. And I do have some wonderful friends that are very, very solid supporters. But they could go to our website and they could donate. They can donate through Facebook. They can, start a fundraiser for us on Facebook if they like our cause. And what some of the organizations out there, actually some individuals have started these, like Your Fabulous 50s. Or they've started wheel spins where they put items out there and people donate money to get a spot on the wheel and they win something and they're taking the proceeds and they're dividing them up over some local organizations. So we've been the recipient of some of those. So I feel certain that we're going to be okay. And I feel certain that the money will come. And if anybody likes what we do or feels compelled to donate something, that would be great. If they want to be involved on a volunteer level, we could always use volunteers. We can never get enough volunteers. So there's several ways that they can do it. And until we are able to start our events up, supporting the events, coming to the events would be another way.
Okay. So I had another question I wanted to ask you a little bit more, because I know you mentioned the fundraising aspects, but um, f- where is your home base for the nonprofit? Is it Florida? Is it New Jersey? Is it the west side of Florida? East side of Florida? Where are you fundamentally based out of?
Well, corporate headquarters, as we joke around, is in my home, and that's based in Sarasota, Florida. But we do take recipients from everywhere, and we do operate everywhere in the state. So I guess you could say it's Sarasota would be the primary functioning office.
Nice. Okay. Um, there was something else I was going to ask you too. God, there's so much information, like it's going in my head so much about like how like Infinite Wishes, Infinite Heroes, and how they conglomerate together. And I'm just trying to think because my marketing brain keeps going all over the place. But
Right.
but is there any other information you want to share that we haven't gone over, with that you can think of off top of your head that that I didn't ask you thus far?
No, I think we're an evolving organization. Like I said, we started out primarily with the adults, and then we moved into the veteran space, and we're all very passionate about our veterans and supporting the military. So that was a wonderful fit. We we also have a little program that we luckily have not had to use, which is called Infinite Families, and that's in the event that we have a sick adult that may have a sick child as well. We partnered with Children's Wish International out of Georgia, and that way we could co-partner and handle both wishes. But really, what we've done is we've said to ourselves, okay, what kind of nonprofit do we want to be? Do we want a nonprofit that says, well, we're going to stick to this mission and that's it? But when we found ourselves in the predicament of not being able to help and do what we do during COVID, we found a way to help the community, and that's how we roll. We were like, okay, well, we can't do the wish trips, but where is the need? And the need is those people on the front lines that are overwhelmed and exhausted, and let's do a little something for them. So in terms of our organization, we have a great big heart, and we always say, our saying basically is, we do small things in a big way. And so we feel like we may not be a large organization that touches a lot of lives, but we touch one wish at a time. And we can do it in a way because we are small, but we can offer them a lot because we have some tremendous partnerships in the state.
And that's one thing, that was one of my question I wanted to ask. Okay, because I know you mentioned the volunteers, I know you mentioned everything else, but what type of partnerships do you have that you work with? Because I feel like they need to be out there known so people know that these people are supporting you.
So we have some partnerships with hotels. And for instance, we have some strong partnerships with hotels in Orlando. We have friends that donate their timeshares to us. Timeshares are another thing. If anybody wants to do something and they want to donate a timeshare, they get the tax write-off. We have partnerships with some of the theme parks that we have a tremendous partnership with Kennedy Space Center that, help us with tickets and do a little extra for the person we're sending over that way. So we have partnerships with restaurants that donate gift certificates. We also have a donate your vehicle program. And anywhere in the United States, the continental United States, you can call and you give them our charity number, and within 24 hours, a tow truck comes, you fill out the paperwork, trade the title, and that car either goes to auction or salvage, and then we get the money from that. So we have that program. That's another way people can help. So we developed ways where people can donate without actually having to open up their wallets. And especially in a time like this, they could go to Amazon Smile, choose our charity on Amazon Smile, and they give a percentage of all sales to us. We have the same thing with I Give. That's another portal that has 2,000 stores on it. And anybody that shops there, they would choose our charity, we get a portion. So we have donation boxes out in the community for Infinite Wishes and Infinite Heroes where people can throw their change in there. So we have many ways where people can participate on whatever level they're financially comfortable with, or they can volunteer.
Nice. All right. Well, I I'm really awestruck because that's a lot that, you've reached out to these places that they have responded and given you a lot of charity to come back and say you can utilize us, because that just goes to show you that, not all these places just care about is money. They actually do care about charity as well.
It's very inspiring for me as well because I'm the one out there asking. I have to have the big ask, and the response more often than not is positive.
That's good, because I feel that most people, if they come on the point of charity and they ask, they're more able to sit and learn and find out more about you than just say donate some money. that's my little thing. But so do you have any? I know you're trying to think of any fundraising events that you want to do, but are there any upcoming events or anything that you want to say that could be coming up right now for our listeners?
Well, we were supposed to do a casino night. That's been canceled in September. We canceled our McCurdy's, which usually occurs in November. I don't know that will happen this year. We had a fundraising trail ride with horses with Wolves Born to Ride, and that was canceled. So we're pushing everything out as we go because we really don't have a crystal ball to know when things are going to open up and we'll be able to resume these activities. So
Gotcha.
there isn't anything really on the horizon right now.
All right. Well, this is where I like to give my guests the opportunity to give their information of how someone can get a hold of you, Lisa, and Infinite Wishes to see how they can help you. So go ahead. Now's the time to give any information you'd like to give.
Okay, so the first way that you can reach me is to go to infinitewishes.org and go under the contact section and send me a quick email, and I'll be happy to get in contact with you. The other way is emailing me at info@infinitewishes.org. And those are the primary ways that you can do it. You can contact me through Facebook. We have an Infinite Wishes Foundation Facebook page. So utilizing those three main points of contact, you can reach me, and I'll be sure to get back to anybody that has any questions or any interest.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lisa, for joining me on Socially Joe. I wish to have you back again to learn more and see how 2021 has thrived even more. So thank you again.